Several days have passed since Greeve awoke in this strange and unreal world. His wounds are recovering slowly while the temperature plummets and the winter quickly approaches. Now he desperately searches for the resources he needs to survive. Welcome everyone, my name is Ryan and we are playing the Unreal World. We are back with episode number 2 of the Winter Challenge series, and our character Greeve the Driik is still alive and he's on the hunt. So if you missed that very first episode, I've got a link to it down in the description. The playlist is there, plus all my other Unreal World series are down there too. So if you get caught up and you want more, check those out. Also, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and let's jump into the action. So last night in the game, we saw an elk just about in this general vicinity of the forest, which happens to be in our own backyard. The shelter you can see is just behind us. I have dropped off some of the wood and stuff we were carrying because it's just extra weight, and since it's on the world map, we should be able to easily pick it up and find it. But it is noon, so we've got plenty of visibility. Let's zoom out and proceed to about where we last saw the elk, which was unfortunately right up here by the forest's edge. Yeah, I'm gonna go into stealth, at least while we're kind of looking for it. And here we go. So here's the signs we probably saw last night. Yeah, day old elk tracks here. So this is definitely where we lost it, and of course it did go into the forest. Now, it could have just kept running, or it might have meandered back out of the forest, so one thing we might do, since there's still some berries and heather around here, I could pick a few cranberries as we wait. Yeah, this will pass a bit of time, and it keeps us in the general vicinity. We could get lucky and see it just, wander into view, but there's no guarantee. And at least we'll have a little bit of food, so let's pop these in our mouth. Alright, let's take a bit more active pressure here, because we can't spend too much time out and about. Luckily, being noon, it's probably the warmest it's going to be all day, but we really have to be careful about our temperature. Alright, let's zoom around a little bit. This way, we might increase our chances of finding it. Unfortunately, you can see that we've lost most of the daylight, and there's no elk in sight. So I figured we'd kind of make our way over to our second shelter. We built this one, I don't know, maybe about 20 to 30 squares or tiles away from our others. So this way we can kind of bounce back and forth and still maintain warmth, hopefully. And I mean, it's only going to get colder from here. We're still on day 2 of the 10th week before midwinter. Of course, the midwinter point, theoretically is going to be the coldest point, but it can fluctuate here and there. Nonetheless, it's going to be a real challenge. So this place is looking good. Let's continue to accumulate a bit more resource for this area. We'll take a bit of a break to eat some sweet flowers, also known as heather, and we'll take a bit of a drink here. Okay, so yeah, if we look around for some more big stones, that could be pretty helpful. That way we can set some more traps between here and between our 2 shelters. There we go. Yeah, even though the bird population definitely thins out in the colder months, it's still possible to catch stuff. And these light lever traps can even catch small hares or squirrels if you get real lucky, so it's good to have a bunch of them. Right now, just collecting some cranberries while we've still got a bit of light, but we are getting chilly, so let's backtrack. Unfortunately, I don't see many of the big stones. There's a few key places that are real easy to find those. Obviously, one of them's going to be hills or mountains. And another one would be like near lake shores. That's another great spot to find the large stones, but yeah, we have nothing but firewood and branches here, so let's go ahead and start a fire. We'll push 1 trunk, and I think 3 is actually the minimum For some reason, I always do 4 or like that, but I think 3 is okay too. We'll start a fire. There we go. All right. We're still lively though, so I think I'll just warm up a bit. There we go. And yeah, I'm going to keep kind of scouring the area, looking for whatever resources. And in the morning time, we'll make the trek back to our original shelter, maybe set a few traps along the way, and possibly get lucky. Take a look at this. The ground is a little bit less snowy. Isn't that nice to see? Yeah, even though I do love a good snow occasionally, this is definitely going to be better for us. A bit warmer, so we don't have to worry as much. But either way, we're here just between our 2 shelters. If we kind of zoom in, yeah, I keep forgetting to mark this with an X, but I think you have to be there to do it. But shelter 1 and 2, right there, we're setting traps in between them. So let's come up to this little plant of heather here, and boom, there we go. Now I don't think I have any more big stones. So let's just jump out. Okay. Yep, you can kind of see we got another set of traps right here. Nothing in them yet, but now you can kind of tell what I'm doing. Setting up a little, yeah. Boom, we'll probably set another trap here just on the outside of this little forest or tuft of trees. And then that northern shelter, boom, right there. So as we travel in the dead of winter, we'll be able to check several different trapping spots along the way. All right, let's return to the main spots. And I want to drop some of the stuff that I'm carrying. Okay, there we go. Yeah, since we're still fairly injured, it's not too bad, but it is definitely causing us a penalty here. And starvation is starting to weigh on us too, our physical abilities. So we have to keep that in mind, but let's get out there and try some hunting. This is going to be tricky, but it's warmer. It's still fairly early in the day, so we might come across something if we get super lucky. Here we go. Nice open area. Perfect. Ooh. Okay, we got 2 dilemmas here. Well, 1 dilemma, really. 2 options. There's an elk just ahead of us, but we're cold. This can get really, really bad quickly if we're not careful. We could zoom in and start a fire, or we could go straight for the elk. You know, if we start the fire, we could lose the elk. Let's approach a little closer. Now the elk has disappeared. There it is. All right, let's see. It is right next to a forest. There's a forest just ahead, like above us to the north, but let's see if we can look at it. Oh, there's an elk calf here too. Ooh, that can be really good for us. Yeah, and now that we're also zoomed in here to the warmth, or I should say, we're not going to get as cold as quickly, so we'll be able to chase these down. It won't be so bad, and you better believe that if we actually kill one, we're going to be starting a fire right away just to cook up some meat too. So I think at this point we can not worry about cold. Let's focus on running down this calf here. Yeah. I'd love to get the mother, but the calf is going to be much easier target for us. Much smaller, but let's charge it. There we go. So we can, I'm going to have to stay zoomed out for most of this hunt to maintain maximum visibility, but there you can see the mother, the big elk, and there's the baby, the little elk calf. So, and of course we lack any major weapons. All we have is our knife, which I might as well go ahead and just wield it, but we're only going to use that to finish the animal off. What we're going to do is run it down and exhaust the animal. Okay, and it's potential we could get both of them, but it's unlikely. And I tell you what, now I kind of wish there was more snow on the ground. Be easier to see them. Alright, northeast. Ooh, that's bad news. Now they're going towards this little forest here. Yep, they're in the woods now. Let's see, she's not fatigued. The little one's just above her, too. Okay, they could still come out of there. Let's see if we can maybe flank them a bit. It's not the easiest thing in the world to flush them out of these trees, but it's possible. Damn, there's so much runway to the south, too. If we could just get them out here. There's the little one. Okay, it's looking a little bit fatigued. I'm going to take a risk and... Ooh, I'm going to start sprinting. Okay, don't want to overexert ourselves because that can just ruin the hunt, but... Ah, damn. I think the little one went deeper into the trees, didn't it? Shoot, shoot, shoot. Maybe if we pull back just a bit, go into stealth mode, and let's just rest for a moment or two. Okay. It's possible they could exit the forest again, but man, oh man. Kind of walk the trails. Here's a track. It's going east, though. Yeah, this one leads straight into the woods. Dang. Man, oh man. Well, the good news is this is a pretty small forested area, but it's still very difficult to track them in there. Let's come around. We'll kind of walk around it. Yeah, you can see this little forest is like essentially just a little outcropping here from this big one. Let's dive in, see if we can maybe flush them out. And again, the tracks are much more difficult to see without full snow cover. Haven't spotted one. Well, okay, here's some tracks, but I expect these are ones we saw earlier, leading southwest. Alright, let's just pop out. We got more tracks. Alright, I'm not giving up. We'll move around a little bit. Maybe we can zoom out. Try to reacquire the animal. We're losing light though, and of course we're still cold too. Maybe we should go ahead and start a fire. That might actually help us pass a little bit of time here. Alright, let's do a fire. And we'll just sit here for a moment. It's not really warming me up too much. Okay, it just went out. Sun's going down pretty bad too. Shoot. Oh well. We've definitely seen multiple elks now. And basically in this general vicinity too, so I have hope still. I think maybe it's time to call it quits and go home. Yeah. Let's get back to our shelter. Ooh, we got a fox and a rabbit right here. Look at that. You know, we might actually have to stop just to warm up again. Yeah, let's zoom in. I'm going to need to build a proper fire, I think. Let's get that. Okay. Am I carrying anything? No. Alright, we're going to get a fire started. Got to be extra careful. It's going to be a big one. There we go. We might be able to just sleep here next to this fire. Let's see, because this is a pretty big one. Alright, it's early evening. We're cold and tired. I've got a couple pinches of flowers, so let's just see if we can sleep at this location. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. There we go. Ah, not bad, not bad. Alright, it is midnight though, but we're vigorous. Yeah, I'm going to need to pass a little bit more time till the sun comes up. Whoa, Coach, time out. We got to take a break to recognize my Patreons. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. It means the world to me. And now back to the game. I'll see you guys on Discord. Well, it's no elk, but we do have what look to be a pack of reindeer dead ahead. We're pretty far out from our shelters, so gotta be extra careful, but yeah, if we can bag one of these, that would be almost good as an elk. And if this is a true pack of reindeer, yep, looks like there's two ahead of us. Alright, none of them behind us, but there's probably more than two. It means we might be able to return to this spot again and again. So I'm going to go ahead and mark it. Let's do green, and we'll just say deer. Oops, if I spelled it right. Well, that's spelled right. Sure, I like it. That indicates the plethora of deer that are here. All right. And, of course, we can always remove those, too. And we got a stag, small one, just those two. But, all right, let's go into pursuit mode. There are 3 now on the screen. Oh, there's a juvenile, too. See if we can kind of split one off from the others. That would be great. Also, we want to consider where the forest was. I think it's better if we can get them running in the southeasterly direction. So, alright, we've got a couple here. Let's start sprinting, but of course keep a close eye on my fatigue total here. If that gets to negative 100, that's a problem. We're going to have to stop, so... Alright, the baby is now running in the perfect direction. Let's go after that one. Alright, I'm going to stop sprinting. And, okay, so we've got the big stag, and the baby is there too. I mean, I would go for either one of them, but the baby's going to probably be the easiest to wear out. Alright, so we'll stay focused on that one. Okay, let's see. I always say just continually look at your target. If you lose sight of it, then as soon as you reacquire it, just take a look at it. There's the little one, still slightly fatigued. Alright, and I'm going to sprint a bit. Okay. What's this one doing here? I'm not switching targets. We're staying focused. There's the little one. A little bit hard to see, but you're... Okay, now it's fully fatigued. It's kind of middle of the road fatigue here. We need to get it to very fatigued and then breathless. Breathless is the key. Alright, let's sprint. We're doing good. If we just stay in small bursts of sprinting, we should be okay. Alright, where did it go? I lost it. There it is. Very fatigued, beautiful. Alright, let's stay on it. I'm going to sprint. Okay, I'm going to keep sprinting because I can tell it's losing steps. In fact, it's probably breathless. No, I'm still only very fatigued. Okay, we're pushing ourselves, but we're able to like keep up with it essentially, so that's good. Yeah, now it's breathless, okay. Let's keep the afterburners on here for a short time. Oh, it's trying to get away. It could still make it into the forest, and that would definitely give it a better chance of getting away, but I think we've got this. Alright, let's stop sprinting. Now we're just essentially walking, and we're getting to recover our fatigue as we walk, while this thing is still trying to outrun me. It's still basically sprinting at the top of its ability, but it's breathless, so it can't do anything. Boom. Alright, we're in melee. I'm going to wield my knife and blunt to the legs. Boom. That way we preserve the skin of the animal by not piercing it. And I like to go for the legs because if we land a good hit... Oh, it's trying to counterattack. Let's dodge it. And dodge again. Oh, I fell. Okay, we got to be careful. We're still injured and fatigued and starving, so we're not the best fighters right now. Okay. Dodge it again. Yeah, we kind of stun lock it if we get successful hits on it, but man, we're struggling. Alright, hold on. Let me pick up my knife again. Wield the knife. Okay. And we'll try another attack here. Dodge it. I don't think it's hit me at all. No, those are still our same. Okay, let's see here. Let's do blunt to the legs. Completely missed it. Damn. Okay, we got it that time. Dodge. Got it that time. Oh, good, good. Well, we stumbled and fell. That's not good, but I think we hit it again. Missed it that time. Oh, dodge. And we dropped our silly knife again. What a struggle. This is the hardest part, isn't it? Alright, let's wield the knife. Dodge. I'm not worried about it really hitting me, but I just want to get this over soon, you know? Let's see here. Because I certainly can't just sit here and rest. That's not going to work. That would allow it to get away. Alright, we're getting some hits on it. let's see if I can bring this to an end quickly. Okay, man, oh man, took several blows and a lot more chasing, but I've got it unconscious now, so I think this is good. There it is, and it is dead. Wow, what an ordeal, people. Look at that. We got a 93-pound forest reindeer carcass. Boy, that is a big success, but we could do better, potentially. Let's just see if we come back out here and rest for a little bit. Okay, with the carcass on us, we're at negative 52. Wouldn't allow us to sprint very much, but I could potentially still try and track one of the adults. But tell you what, we've got this place marked, right? So we know it's here. It's a bit of a hike, but we can still make it. It's cold. Let's see. Can we push ourselves to get there before nightfall? Ooh, bitterly cold. That's dangerous, but we're very close. I think we should still stop. Let's make a little bit of a fire here. Yeah, we'll just grab one of these small trees. Oh, look, that's perfect. There's already a branch right here. All right, let me get some twigs. Okay. We're not going to prepare the animal or anything just yet. We'll do that back at our shelter. I've got some cordage and stuff ready to go. All right, beautiful. Get that going, please. Hurry, hurry. All right, there we go. I'm going to grab this other branch real quick. Okay, let's pick that up. And we'll drop that in the fire too. That should definitely give us enough to get warm. Let's see, push it. We are weary. Yeah, let's just rest for a bit and try and warm up. Okay, there we go. We're rather warm. So that should take us through to the other side of the forest where our shelter lays. There it is. Oh, man. Stumble home just in time. It is evening. Of course, we're extremely tired, but we were successful, folks. So we're going to drop the carcass. There it is. It's right next to the water. We've got enough flowers to fill our stomach. And, whoops, I'm always doing that. Let's go ahead and get a little bit of water, too. Yeah, there we go. Take a beautiful drink. All right. We are too tired, I think, to try and process the animal. So we'll do that in the early morning. Here we go, folks. It is time. So let's skin this little guy up. Beautiful. And now we've got the skin, but let's go ahead and proceed to butcher it. Okay, great. And we've got some bones at our feet. I'm going to move those into the shelter. Now let's get a fire going. Okay, I've got perfect. And spark that up. We're cold, so let's get this cooking. What do we get? 42 cuts. Okay. I think we're going to roast most of this because we'll be able to eat it for sure without it being wasted, but I'm also going to dry a little bit. So let's grab a stack of cordage here and we'll go to dry. I'll just do all 22 if possible. There we go. Okay, that should give it enough time for this to be done. There we go. Yep, we don't want to burn our roasted meat. Oh my gosh, let's have our first real meal in the entire game since we've started. Here it goes. Now, we don't want to eat the fat. We'll use that on the skin, but whew, look at that. We've got almost 15 pounds of roasted meat. It's going to be a lot less now, though. Digging into that stuff. All right. And of course, it will take a while for our starvation to go down, so this penalty still remains. But as we feed him more and more and our nutrition goes up, this will diminish too. And if we were living in times of abundance, I don't know why I'd be starving if I were, but of course, eating the fat itself will definitely help you recover from starvation quickly. But yeah, we need it for the fur. So let's open up this water here, and we're going to first clean the skin. It's not a very big skin, so this won't take too long. Now we're going to tan it using the fat. Beautiful. Let me just check. Do I have any more of the... Okay, no. We did get to prepare all the meat, so yeah. There's currently 22 pieces right here that'll be ready in 24 days. It takes a while, and this one little guy is definitely not going to get us through the whole winter, so we've got to continue to hunt, but it's a good start for now. So let's take a quick drink. And all right, the winter tanning forest reindeer skin will be ready in a few hours. We may not pick it up quite yet, so we've got a little bit of time to kill here around the camp, but that shouldn't be too bad. We might check on some of our traps, see if we get lucky. There's nothing in these traps here, but of course we could make a quick dash down to the other shelter and check some of the traps along the way. I think that's probably a good idea, but we're going to save that for the next episode, guys. I think it's good to end this one on a high note here with a successful hunt, but it's definitely not going to be enough. So we're going back out on the hunt again in the near future, and I hope you will tune in for that episode coming up, guys. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and I will see you all on the next one.